Hi everyone, this is Jiggie, a portrait and wedding photographer from the Philippines, and welcome to the channel. So in this video, I want to discuss a light that could possibly be a replacement to my off-camera flash. So in case you guys are new to the channel, you might not know that I am a lover of off-camera flash. I basically use off-camera flash in a lot of my works, and if you check most of the videos that are in this channel, they are all about off-camera flash photography. And here I am talking about a replacement for something that has been working well for me. And why is that? Well, actually, it's not really a replacement, or it might actually be a viable option other than just off-camera flash photography. Okay, so before we get into what light I am talking about, basically I just want you guys to understand how I approach my lighting. In other words, I see light, or I see my lighting modifiers or the lights that I have to be similar to that of my camera lenses. In other words, I have specific lights for specific instances. Now, that will come into play when I start talking about this light that I'm going to introduce to you guys now, because there is a specific use to it that I feel might actually be better than my off-camera flash or my speed lights, such as this one. So what is this light that I am talking about? I am basically talking about the Nanlite Forza 60B. What is this Nanlite Forza 60B? This is basically a continuous light, but there is something very special about this one, and let me show you. So basically what's inside this bag is your usual power cables here, okay? Then you've got this one, which I will explain afterwards, then your light and an adapter, okay? So what else is in here? This is basically just your standard reflector, so I won't take that out anymore. Okay, so let's talk about the components of this light. So what makes this light so special is, number one, it's got beautiful color temperature. I think it's about 97 CRI and above. What does that mean? Is that it gives you the proper rendition of what is said in the back. So this is the Forza 60B version. In other words, this is the bicolor version. So which is essential. In other words, you can control the color temperature of your light to match that of your existing ambient light. And look at the size. This is my standard speed light, and this is now my Nanlite Forza 60. It is practically the same size. What else is here? Basically, you've got an adapter that converts this Nanlite mount into a Bowens mount. In other words, I can use all the modifiers that I have in my arsenal now. And it's got a handle which allows you to use 2 NPF batteries to power this light instead of your standard power brick and AC outlet. This light can also be powered using what you call the V-mount batteries. So this light can be powered either by AC, NPF batteries such as this one, and V-mount batteries like this. Now, as I said earlier, this light could possibly be a viable alternative to that of my speed light. How do I see myself using this actually? Firstly, I'm sure you guys are going to be asking, how is the power of this? Definitely, this is not going to be anywhere near as powerful as this Sony speed light that I normally use whenever I am shooting outdoor. That's why I said earlier that I have specific lights for a specific purpose. Now, this light, in combination with my Sony cameras that can technically see in the dark, allows me now to be able to shoot with existing ambient light at night. In other words, this flash is also good for me to use at night, but when I reach a certain point, the power of this one is no longer that essential as compared to the flexibility of continuous light like this. So let me explain. This Nanlite is a bicolor version. In other words, you can change the color temperature anytime you want. So if you're shooting a scene, let's say for example, that has existing ambient light in the warmer side, I don't need to take out my gels and guess between 1/4 CTO or a half CTO or a full CTO, meaning color temperature orange, to change the color of my light to match that of existing ambient light. Basically, I can just dial it in with this light. So that's one big advantage already. Number two, what you see is what you get. In other words, whenever you light something, you could already see how it's gonna look. So how does that help me, especially when I am shooting with my assistant photographers? When I light it, they can actually go to different angles already and shoot the exact same scene the way I would shoot it. Unlike if I was using a speed light and they shoot on my right or my left, they are technically not shooting with light. So therefore, the images that they would take will be totally different from what I am taking. Now, the flexibility of this one allows me also to be able to shoot it without, as I said earlier, without the AC outlet. So it is as flexible as the small speed lights, though price-wise, they might not be comparable yet. We're not there yet in terms of how affordable these lights are compared to those speed lights. But let's put it this way. This thing goes for about 300 USD and maybe about, let's say, 100 USD for this type of battery and cheaper ones for this one. So let's peg it maybe at about 350 USD. A good flash will actually set you back about 200, 250 USD or even 300 USD. Then you will need a trigger to be able to control that flash and sync with your camera. So that will basically put you in about the same price as what this package cost. So price-wise, it's not that different, but of course you can get cheaper flash units and cheaper triggers, but you can also get cheaper lights. But of course, with LEDs, you have to make sure that the CRI or the color rating index is above 96 or 97, or else you're going to get color cast, and that will not be pleasing whenever you're shooting an image. So is this really a replacement to my off-camera flash? Well, technically, in certain situations, yes. But it really depends on the situation. If I were to shoot outdoor, let's say, for example, I am going to be shooting with bright sunlight, then I would bring my speed light or even my Phottix Indra 500, which is a 500 watt flash. But the moment the sun sets, actually, I think I will try this during sunset, but I believe that it might actually be powerful enough to do some decent sunset shots. But definitely this one will work so well during blue hour. During blue hour, I love using this technique of basically setting my white balance to tungsten and setting my light in the orange or the warmer tone so that the camera's white balance will adjust to that by adding more blue. By doing that, you're actually making the sky even more blue. Now, after your blue hour or your sunset, this particular light will really hold its own against off-camera flash units just for one particular reason, because of how easy it is to use. You no longer have to guess what your flash is doing. Basically, what you see is what you get. Plus, with this bicolor version from Nanlite, you can adjust the color temperature of your light to match that of your existing ambient light and making that artificial light look as seamless as possible. So, yes, I'm actually very excited to where this technology is going to be taking us. This Nanlite series already has a 300 watt one or a 500 watt version, but they're huge and they're not really as portable as this one. So it's not that type of light that I would still recommend to bring outdoors, especially when you're shooting at night, because it is very cumbersome. But this particular model is really a viable alternative to your speed light given that specific situation. Of course, now you guys are probably gonna ask me, for a small home studio, which one would be better, a light like this or a speed light? So in case you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, now is the perfect time to do so, because I will be coming out with a video soon answering that specific question. Which is better for a small home studio? A continuous light or a flash? Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do again subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, click that notification bell so that you get notified the moment I upload new videos. And if you want to see some of the images that I've created with this setup or my speed lights, you could always follow me on Instagram. It's at Jiggie Alejandrino. Okay? Till the next video.